my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abby and you're watching Abby in Canada. In today's video, I'm going to be guiding you through some of the steps that you will need in order to become a Canadian citizen. The first step would be to ensure that you are a permanent resident of Canada. Once you are a permanent resident of Canada, you have to ensure that you're living in the country for 3 years out of 5, which is also equivalent to 1,095 days. Once you've been living in the country for that long, then the next step would be to ensure that you are filing your taxes. You have to file your taxes from the year you arrive in Canada all the way up to the time that you put the application in. The next step would be to ensure that you speak the language, whether it is French or English. The next step would be to ensure that you pass your citizenship test. Once you pass your citizenship test, then the next step would be to pass your interview with a Canadian immigration officer. Once you have all of those done, then the next thing would be to be sworn in, and then voila, you are a Canadian. In order to become a permanent resident of Canada, there are a few steps that you could take. The most popular way are to be sponsored by a family member, to apply through a job that you've gotten in Canada, or to apply through school. To be eligible to be a Canadian citizen, it is very important that you are living in the country for 3 out of 5 years. Why this is important is because the Canadian government wants to see that you are living in the country, you're filing your taxes, and that you are a productive and responsible member of society. The next step would be to ensure that you speak either French or English. For those of you who are coming from a country that your native language is not French or English, I highly suggest that you enroll in classes when you do get to Canada. In order to become a Canadian citizen, it is very important that you pass the Canadian citizenship test. Now, the citizenship test is comprised of 20 questions. Now, the questions that could be asked on the citizenship test could range anywhere from politics, culture, provinces, as well as your responsibility as a Canadian citizen. Now, it's very important that you file your taxes from the year that you get to Canada all the way up till you put the application in. Filing your taxes in Canada is very important to show that you are eligible to become a Canadian citizen. You cannot be on welfare in order to become a Canadian citizen, so please bear that in mind. With the citizenship test, it's also very important to know that you have to get 15 questions out of the 20 questions asked of you. Now, another thing that is overlooked when talking about how to become a Canadian citizen is the fact that even up to the time when you are being sworn in as a Canadian citizen, you still are not a Canadian citizen. Bear in mind that on the day of your citizenship swearing in, it is very important that you recite either the national anthem or the oath of Canada. If you don't recite those, you are not going to be eligible to become a Canadian citizen. Even though you've passed the citizenship test, even though you've passed your interview, if at the final stage, your swearing in ceremony, you do not repeat those things, you will not be eligible to become a Canadian citizen. Now guys, if you are migrating from another country and you are coming to Canada, what I would suggest is that when you get here is that you embrace the culture. It is very important that you get to know Canada on a whole. Before you come here, I'm sure you would have done a lot of research, or if you are living here, it is very important that you travel. Engage in volunteer work, learn about the culture. Now, these are things that over time will make you a lot more comfortable when taking the Canadian citizenship test. Some of the documentation that would be required of you to show that you are eligible to become a Canadian citizen would be things like your tax return, copy of your passport pages, the citizenship form, passport size photos, copy of your permanent resident card, and proof that you do speak the language. Now guys, if you did find this video helpful, give this video a like as well as leave a comment in the comment section down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time guys, bye everyone.